What's up, YouTube? It's Joe Ketchpalia sitting on the couch, making some money investing in fractional real estate online, as usual. Today I need to make a correction. I was wrong about what Real Brick's claim was. They actually sent out a new email with a link to this article. They called it an article. It's this little thing about their offering. And I was misunderstanding what their actual claim was. They're saying that they're full. Yesterday I was looking at it and I was thinking that they had the wrong numbers in their listing, right? Because I was thinking that they were saying this 215 was 16% more or less than the market price. But what they're actually saying is this total offering, this 250,310, is 16% less than the market price. And that's because they're saying the market price is 297,490. And I did find this one listing for that amount of money. So there is a listing there. So there's a price. This was the most expensive one. There were several listings for the same exact square footage from the same builder for significantly less. But there is one listing out there that shows this real high price. And so what they're saying is that this 215 is, that they're paying the builder. I mean, this is a huge discount if the market price were actually 297. But so they're saying here the 16% discount actually is on this 250 number. If that were true, I would be really pumped about these deals. Like that's just an absolutely amazing deal, right? I mean, to actually, to get such a big discount that we're adding in the $5,000 that we're spending for improvements. We're adding in this, they're all the fees and closing costs and the amount of money that we're holding for holding costs, and still paying significantly less, than the actual market price. Well, I don't think that's the case. I'm going to dig into some numbers a little bit. If you missed my video yesterday, I actually dug into, how they're, whether or not I think they can hit this dividend yield. Spoiler alert, I couldn't come up with numbers that made me think that they would be able to consistently pay that over time. But once you add in what I think are all reasonable assumptions about the property itself, it doesn't seem like it throws off enough cash. But if you didn't see that video, it was just yesterday on my channel. I'm sure you can find it. Before I forget, please like and subscribe. In the description of this video, I have links to all the places where I'm currently investing in fractional real estate online, Real Bricks being one of them. Some, Real Bricks, I actually just used the link to get the initial investment and the free bonus, the bonus shares that you get with your first purchase. I really just haven't gotten comfortable with their projections. And, although, I'm going to take a harder look at what that discount really is, because, purchase price 215, even though you have all these fees and expenses built in on top of it, I think we might still be doing pretty good. And I'm going to show you that. I dug into this a little bit. But I got sidetracked. Sorry. So any of the links that I provide, or any of the properties I talk about, or the platforms, you want to do your own due diligence on all of them. They all have different terms of service. Some of them, it's harder to actually get the money than others. Some of them have not worked for a long time as far as the affiliate links go. Also, just in general, the investments themselves. I'm never telling you what you should or shouldn't buy. I'm telling you what I'm doing and how I'm thinking about it, and letting you know what my results look like. But you need to make your own investment decisions. Also, in the description of this video, I have a link to a Discord channel where a couple hundred other people are now sharing ideas and thoughts about lots of different platforms, or at least a couple hundred joined. Most people are lurkers, but there is good discussion on just about all the different platforms out there now. We're talking about Mogul, Lofty, Collab, Arrived, Arc7, all the places where I'm investing currently. And so there's, we share ideas, due diligence, whatnot. Okay, back to this. So what do I think as far as, are we actually getting this huge discount, right? Are these properties worth I mean, I think I don't think this is the real price. Like I said, when I looked at active listings, I didn't find, this was the only active listing that I found for this price. I actually found other active listings from the same builder for the same square footage for significantly less. And then I pulled up all the recently sold properties on homes.com. If you remember, I really like using their, you can do a sold search. You can't narrow down the square feet as much as I'd like. So this pulls in some bigger properties. This is the subdivision. I believe all of these are built by the same builder. Not 100% sure about this one, but it looked like it. And I went back 6 months. If you go back 6 months, it makes it look a little bit better. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So, okay, first of all, I'm going to go through each of these. Okay, this one sold for $264. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but it's actually 1,450 square feet. And it's D.R. Horton, America's Builders, which I believe is the builder that we're purchasing this property from. So it's a bigger property, already selling for less than the $297. So I mean that's good, pretty good evidence that that's not the current market price. But that happened September 12th, so that's kind of far back. This is another one. Okay, it sold for $283, but it's also 150 square feet larger, and sold back in November. This was I think is going to be the best one that we see. That's the same square footage, the 1294, but this sold all the way back in October, and it sold for $267. So is $267 the real market price? I'm not sure, but let's keep going. Okay, and then we look in December. Okay, we have another larger home from the same builder that sold for $248,000, and then we had one in January. Same floor plan, 243. This was again same floor. I say same floor plan. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and the same exact square footage. It might not be the exact same floor plan. This one sold as cheap as 234. So that's you're getting down below. What's the number that we're talking about here? Like the total offering price is $250,310. So you can see several of these. I mean, they bought it for a big discount to that number, but this is still over the $215,000 that we're paying, right? And so I actually think this is kind of a decent deal once I see these. Now, of course, I don't know with these sales, did they cover some of those closing costs too? Because we're adding them on top. I don't know. Sometimes the builders will do that. Sometimes when it's a pure, sometimes not though when they're offering a big discount. This is another one that's just larger, so I think it doesn't apply. This is another one, same square footage, sold in December, so we're getting more recent, $238,000. Okay, this is another one that's just larger, 1,450. 282, but see, even these larger ones didn't get to the 297. So that this number is just like an inflated fake number as far as I can tell. I mean, that's just aggravating to me when, but I don't know if this is a game the builder is playing with Real Bricks or something that Real Bricks is, doing with us, or something that they're doing together, right? Like it's tough to know what's actually happening there, but clearly this is not the market price, right? 297. We haven't seen one that sold for that amount. It might be, it's not the price that they're actually selling for. So I don't like that they're saying that, especially because it does look like we're kind of getting a deal, because Real Bricks has to make some money, their fees, and there's, some costs in there, and we're buying it for $215. And so far I haven't seen one that sold for $215. This is another one. This one is larger. This is one of the most recent sales. It sold February 3rd. It's a bigger one, and it sold for $248. So it seems like there's a downward trend. This is another one. This was actually a smaller one that sold for more, but this was way back in September. So it seems like prices are going down. One thing that could be happening too is there might be different levels of finish, different amenities, and that's why we're off. But even if that's the case, one, there's no reason that we'd want to spend for the higher package if we're using this for a rental. Like, I think that wouldn't make sense. But two, we still, even, regardless of if that's the case, none of these are at the 297. And yes, this one I think is the most recent, and it's also our same size. So, okay, February 10th, same 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, same 1294 square feet. This sold for $238,000. So, are we actually getting a discount to the market price? Well, the 215 sale is a discount from this. But of course, once we have to add in the sourcing fee and the closing costs and holding costs and improvements, we're paying more than that. But, those improvements we'd have to add on top of this. So, I don't think that matters. Really, I think if you say, okay, I'd say if I'm looking at the purchase price and I add in the real brick sourcing fee, okay, so that's $230, and then add in a portion of the, because this is closing, offering, and holding costs. So some of those are just costs we should, actually have to have, but then some of them are costs from the offering. So, say about half, if it's half, that gets us to being able to purchase this really at, what the market value is. I'm perfectly happy with that for a fractional deal where I'm getting new construction and, I'm not eating a whole bunch of extra costs. Like, they should still be proud of this deal as far as from a valuation perspective in my mind, right? Like, because that 215 is significantly lower than we've seen, on any of these. And then, yes, I mean, that now is a $15,000 sourcing fee. One of the things too is like, is there some game being played with that where some of that's going back to the builder? I mean, that's something that we just can't really know. I mean, I guess maybe they would have to disclose that, but I don't necessarily think that's the case. But regardless, it seems like we are getting a true discount to the true market value. It's just nowhere near. We're not getting it once at their offering price. We're not getting a 16% discount from what these homes are actually selling for, at least with any of the data that's available to the public right now, right? I mean, this is, who knows? I mean, sometimes they'll have, they don't actually list all the sales on the MLS. But this is the public data. This is the info that we have, where we can see what and this is actually these are the last list prices. I wonder if I could look these up on the MLS. So the last list price is not necessarily the sales price, right? They could have gotten a deeper discount than that. Ooh, I didn't really think about that. And last time I checked, I don't have access to the MLS that's in this area. If anybody who watches this happens to have MLS access and wants to share the actual sold numbers for these, that would be fantastic, because I forgot about that homes.com here in Texas it's just giving us the last list price. It's not giving us the actual sale price. So these could have been, I did this whole video and I completely forgot that that's how this one works. I'm so used to working in my MLS so I can see actual solds. But so it just I don't think that they're paying more than this, right? Like, you're not going to have a bunch of buyers paying more. So maybe some of these did actually pay as low as that 215 number that we're getting. Probably not. I mean, my guess is that they're not, but I don't know. I don't know that for sure. I guess if you took a 10% discount, I'm trying to think like when I'm doing deals with builders here in town. Normally, if we do an all cash deal, we might get like 8% off. We're very rarely getting, 10% even. And that, 10% would be, well, let's see, let's do the math, right? 23,890 times 0.9. That would get us right to the 215 if they're getting a 10%. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's possible. Oh man, that's disappointing. It's possible that it's even worse than I thought. Because like I said, I forgot that we're just getting last list price, not actual sold prices, because Texas is a non-disclosure state, and when we're not part of the MLS, we don't actually get the record of the amount that is sold for. Oh, sorry about that. I got you all excited telling me this is but regardless, it doesn't seem like, we're getting this full discount. It seems like we are getting some discount, or we're definitely getting a discount from asking prices, but only with respect to our purchase price, right? Once you start to add back, once you look at their total offering cost, it's above. But I still don't hate it. I mean, I think that from a basis perspective, I'm still not very happy with the transparency that we're getting around how this dividend, the amount of the dividend, what their estimates look like, as far as how does this home actually afford, make it so they can pay that dividend. That's what's problematic, and that's what I had talked about yesterday. I think that's really everything I want to talk about with this. Seeing all these ones that have actually sold in the subdivision for the same size recently, again, they could have lesser finishes, even though they are by the same builder. I mean, I guess you could, if you were thinking about buying this, you could take some time, look through the pictures. I mean, this looks quite a bit like the pictures that they have in the Matterport. Let's look at this Matterport. If I remember correctly, I think it looks like just like this. Oh, yeah, I want to look at the kitchen. I mean, I think they're doing a lot right as far as like, okay, look at this kitchen, and then let's look at this. Yeah, I mean, looks like a very similar level of finishes. You've got the granite, you've got stainless steel appliances. Even, you don't even get all the appliances, right? When you buy new builds, you got to buy your own fridge and stuff usually. Different color cabinets, but I don't think that's the difference. So, yeah, I mean, there's just no reason for me to believe that $297 is the real price. When you can see a whole bunch listed for less than this, in this area already, and then, all these ones that show up as sold on homes.com, they're whatever they were listed for just before they sold was significantly less. Yeah, that's the whole story. I just wanted to make the correction because, one, I was stating what their claim was, right? Like I was thinking that they knew about the 250 market price because I had found that before, and that the 215 was the discounted price, and it just so happens that like ends up being pretty similar too, right? Because 250 times 0.84 gets you to 210, and I thought, I thought maybe they thought the market price was like 255 or something, but that math seemed to work out to the real market prices, and then I thought that the other one was a higher price, so I was just confused about what their actual claim was, thinking that they were just using the wrong numbers, but that's not what it is. They're actually just saying, that, I may have already said this, but that the total cost is a discount from this market price, but they were just using this number for both homes when when it doesn't seem like that's a good number to be using when I look online at what's available out there, what's sold, and everything like that. That's the whole story for today. Sorry that got super rambly towards the end. I mean, that's what to expect for me. It's 6:30 in the morning. I still haven't been to bed today. I don't know why. Hopefully I'll get on track with giving you a little bit better videos in this. Until next time, I'm going to just keep making mistakes so that you don't have to.